Hey there, what are you expecting today? Because whatever you expect, that's exactly what you're going to receive. How many mornings do you wake up dreading the day where your brain is going scanning at your bank account, the house you're living in, the bed you're sleeping in, the people that are around you, and you go negative, 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 negative. I'm vulnerable and authentic. I still do that because if I was going, oh, I thought my video was going to stop. If I was going to say that I know it all, I have it all, that would be a lie, right? Why would that be a lie? Because there's so many more desires in my heart. If I wouldn't have desires, I would be dead, right? The purpose for our existence is to bring out all these desires. That's the purpose for your existence. So I still have desires, and I will have them as long as I live. Once I'm done with them, there's no reason for me to be alive. So when I wake up in the morning and I scan throughout my day, my business, my family, I see negative. And immediately I have the tendency to, as all of us, because our reticular activating system is set on survival, we have the tendency to go on that train of thought. And you find yourself, catch yourself somewhere up there or down there, and you say, boy, do I feel bad right now? But there is a switch in the brain. You have to turn the thermostat from survival to abundance. You have to remind yourself, who am I? Wait a minute, who am I? Wait. All right, I'm God. Wait, I have not created anything. Wait a minute, am I expecting anything today? Well, if you have not created it yesterday, you cannot expect it today. And why am I saying that? Well, as a spiritual scientist, as a high performance mentor, business consultant, I know from theology many things because I grew up in religion but removed myself from it. And now I look at theology and science as two schools of thought. I was taught, however, that when Jesus spoke to the fig tree, Peter the next day said, oh, look, Master. Master is an important word. Look, Master, you spoke to the tree yesterday and it died from the root. Now, we know that speech and mind and speech equal immortality. Immortality means it gives life. Even though he wanted that tree dead and he said, nobody shall eat from you, he had to speak that into existence. So when we speak negative, remember, you're actually giving life to that negative circumstance. That's what it is saying. You are, let's say, speaking negative about someone or something. By law, because life is in the tongue, you are given authority for that to become a reality. That's what it means. Mind and speech, it's immortality, it becomes reality. So when you wake up in the morning and you communicate with your bank account, you communicate with your partner, and you communicate with your clients, your employees, your, I don't know, maybe the guy that, the landscaper, whoever it is, any objects in the house, anything or person or people, when you communicate with them in your mind, you are giving them authority, you are giving them life. If you don't flip the switch from survival to abundance, reminding yourself of who you are going to give life to the very thing that you don't want. So one thing I want you to become aware of is this. In the morning, you have 300,000 new cells in your mind. That's mercy, that's grace that's being renewed to you every morning. That's how our brains have been created. Everything that's not good, it's cut off, right? Like a little branch, cut off the dead, and then new growth starts. So we have new cells because they're waiting for us as gods to create with them. But if your mind has a tendency to go with the negative, remember, you can continue that road and you're giving life to negativity, but you can say, remind yourself, wait, I am God. I already have everything I need. I have 300 new cells. They're in my brain. That's the physical part of me, but the mind is the spirit side of me. So the spirit and the body become one, right? Okay, so let me see, what am I thinking about? Stop and think, what was I thinking about? And then change the course of your thinking, change the trajectory. You see, sin is considered to be going against the desires of your heart. For me to think negative, that's a sin. I am not thinking in alignment with my desire. I am thinking in alignment with the present circumstance. So if I think in alignment with the present circumstance, I give more life to them. This is when we change the mind. And this is when a lot of people talk about affirmations, because life is in the tongue. But as I've said it before in my previous videos, you cannot speak of that which you don't see. Right? To the carnal man, he sees with the physical eyes, but to the spirit man, he has to see with the inner eyes, which means you have to see something. You cannot affirm out of your belly. What am I saying? Is when you affirm, you have to affirm until you see the picture, because what you're doing is you're calling out a picture, a reality. You're calling it until first it becomes like a hologram, and then it gets more clear and more clear, because the more you call it, the more you persist, the more you keep your focus on it, you're calling it in. Now, if you wake up in the morning and you keep persisting and you keep saying, yeah, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, you keep calling that out. So think of everything being binary. Catch yourself in the morning, catch yourself in a moment and say, wait a second, everything is binary. Why am I focusing on the negative? I'm giving it life. Switch and say, no, focus on the positive, and keep affirming until that number, that person's face come in your face, that activity, that exchange, whatever it is that you want to create that day. That's what meditation means. It means to become familiar with the future now, to feel the emotions of the future now, to see the future now. That's called a visionary. You see the future, but without a vision, you perish. And so you wake up every morning, and if you don't have a vision or something you're working on creating, you're going to keep going back here. No, turn your face from circumstance, look at the desire, look at the vision, okay? So how can you set on these reminders? For example, you have a phone, you can set a reminder for a specific time to wake up. You all know that billionaires and millionaires wake up at 4 a.m. There's a reason for that. They're taking advantage of the biological clock, because the biological clock is talking about the physical body, but the physical body is the subconscious mind. Thus, it's the best time to wake up and reprogram the mind. So you can set in these time alarms when you can use those 300,000 new cells, and how to use them. Why not use them the correct way? Why not take advantage of what biology has discovered? Why not take advantage of what science has discovered? And why not create on purpose? Because 95% of actions during the day come from the subconscious mind. So what is it that we're putting in the subconscious mind? What are we creating? Because whatever we create, that's exactly what we are going to do the next day. Our actions have been predetermined. They are built within that desire. Our actions are built in the desire. Deepak Chopra said, inherent in every decision, desire, there's also the mechanics. Inherit, it's referring to heir. To become an heir means you legally own that desire. To inherit is referring inwardly. To legally become the owner of something out there, you have to become the owner of it here inwardly. It's from the inner outer. What he's saying is that built within every desire, there's also the mechanics. He's talking about the action or the strategy to make it happen. So everything you want in your life already exists inside of you. We just need to know how to use them, how to operate them. Theology and science, they help us. But who has ears to hear? So what I would encourage you to do is set up an alarm, as I do. I used to have it every single hour. And I would say, okay, I'm going to sit 5 minutes and I am going to give more energy, because when you pay energy, you don't have to pay in paper. Susie Batiste said, the currency of today is not money anymore, it's energy. So true. So when you pay energy, when you pay attention, you pay focus to what it is you want, it's paid in full. You pay in full. Jesus paid in full. What it's saying is you pay energy, you pay focus, you pay everything, and you pay that in full. You pay it until the thought turns into an image. When the thought turns into an image, it's done. Why? Because your thoughts are spirit. Images are imprinted on the physical brain. It's the physical part of you. The physical part of you, the brain, is the subconscious mind. Is the subconscious mind. Your body is the subconscious mind. The brain is part of the body. So it goes from the conscious, from the intellect, from the mind, into the body the moment it got imprinted on the brain. The moment it got imprinted on the brain, it's done. If in between you attached other people's faces in there and you became aware of other things, in the same image and likeness is going to be transported on the outside. The reason certain people are still hanging around you and you don't want them to, it's because you keep thinking of them when you're creating something. And so they have to keep popping in and out of your reality because they pop in and out of your creation process when you do it. If you give them attention, they're going to pop up in your reality. As within, so without. So when you get disciplined and say, enough of this, no more of this people, no more of that bank account, no more of these clients in my business, and you say, this is what I want, I am committed, I am disciplined, I'm going to become a master of my thoughts. That is when you have a trajectory, one-way mind, and you say, that's my goal, nothing can take me away from it. Bob Proctor, my coach and mentor, said, if you can see it, you can do it. Yeah, because if you see it, that's your desire. The doing, the action is already built in. It's built in. So now we need to ask ourselves the question, what big things can I think about? Because it doesn't matter if I don't know how to do it now. It's built within the desire. Guys, I want you to think about this. Everything that you want, you can have. Because built within that desire, there's also the mechanics or strategies or tactics or actions that you are going to have to take. Naturally, you are going to do things that may seem natural or maybe a little off. Nonetheless, it will happen. Because first the imagination goes and then the body follows. The body is the servant. The body is the hands and feet, and we do the things with the physical for the spirit. And so, how much can you imagine? How big can you imagine? It's not about what is it I don't have. What is it that I would like to have? And in my previous video, I talked about how to connect the inner being with the outer being. The faster and the quickest we close that gap between the mind and the heart, or between the outer Lumi and the inner Lumi, the faster I close the gap, the faster I close the gap out there. This is vertical and then the horizontal. So it's not just closing the gap, but what are you imagining? What are you seeing? It's important to see. A lot of people say, well, I don't like to visualize because it's not important. Why? The brain sees the picture. You seeing moving in the picture, you just gave it life. When you hear something there, when you speak, life is in the tongue, so you have to speak or hear someone speak. That's very important in visualization. Visualization is very important because you're giving it life. You talk to people in your visualization, you tell them what to do, you see them giving you and saying something. That's very important. So if you ever heard that visualization is not important, get away from that. Why? Because your brain was created with, and it has new cells every morning to take those commands from the mind and put them into the physical. Do not undermine meditation, imagination, and visualization. Imagination is God. Visualization is having movement. It's seeing the end from the beginning. But you're giving it life when you enter into it. You're part of it. And you speak. You have to speak. No matter what it is, remember, life is in the tongue. Life, it refers to you're giving authority. You're releasing from heaven to come to earth. You have to release it. You have to push it out. That's the pushing out. Many times if you stop and think about what you're thinking, that you want something, you're going to find yourself having a difficult time speaking. Because if you don't believe here what you see, that it's out there or it can happen, you're going to find yourself unable to speak. Unable to speak. I have that experience. When I think something that's very, very big and I think it's impossible, I can't speak. Like literally, I cannot speak. Physically, I can't speak. I want to try, I can't. because the mouth only speaks from the abundance of the heart. But right now we speak from the abundance of everything out there. So when we become wiser, when we become better, when we become better creators and manifestors, we don't speak as quickly and as easily. Because the reason we speak very quickly is because we're so disconnected between the mind and the heart. We're still focusing on the outside circumstances. Instead, if you were only focusing on the desires of your heart, you would start with something that you believe can happen, something that might happen, and then you get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you're going to find yourself not being able to speak as easily, because the mouth speaks from the abundance of the heart. So if we speak so easily and readily, it's because our heart is full of present facts. So don't be quick to judge. Don't be quick to speak. Be wise. Someone said, and I forgot who he was, he said that Gandhi, I believe that was Gandhi, when he would have a meeting, he was the last one that was speaking. He never spoke during the meeting, and he said a few words at the end, and that's it. Why? Because he was so connected. Now, I don't know Gandhi, and I don't know anything, but I was very impressed at the time when I heard that, and I said, wow, to be able to keep the tongue. The tongue is unruly, like an unruly animal. And if we can hold the tongue, it will tell us that we are so disconnected from our heart. It is difficult to speak about the desires of your heart, isn't it? It is. It is not easy to speak of your dreams and desires to yourself, let alone openly to others. Because even when you say them, you hear them and you begin to judge those desires and say, what if it doesn't happen? What if they don't like you? What if? So you're afraid to speak. Might as well just hold them in. They're not going to come to life because life is in the tongue. Mind and speech equals immortality. You have to speak. So what are you speaking out of? Circumstance or desires? Okay. So, okay, I guess this video is long again, but just felt inspired to come here and speak to you and ask you to think. And the business world, I am known for connecting people to their thoughts. I say think, learn how to receive in life. I'm also known for leveraging inner and outer technology and show others how not to leave their wealth on the table. But that's in the business department. That's in the business world, meaning I am a business consultant and a high performance mentor. But the principles and the creation and manifestation apply in every area of life, right? We are who we are no matter where we go, no matter what name we give ourselves. So given that I come from the market industry of finances as an executive assistant, I wanted to go back to where I came from and take what I've learned from years and years and years of the manifestation process, of knowing my identity and who I am as a human being. If I know me, I know you. If I know me as a businesswoman, I can know you as a business person. So if you are a coach, a law of attraction coach, or a person that maybe right now is doing some work that you don't want to do, for example, and you love to learn more about how to create and manifest, I dare say, but you are probably called to become a law of attraction, law of manifestation coach, mentor, maybe even a business consultant. You can help anyone. And I mentioned about Jesus being the master, and what I mean by that is there are 7 levels of awareness, and the 7th level is mastery of your thoughts, mastery of everything in your life. So when you understand in depth the law of creation and manifestation, and you master that, at your speech, things come to reality. When you have that power, we all have it, but when you use it like a laser focus and things happen at your speech, you master the world. You master your world. You master everything. And when you do that, You know everything. You can see in the future. You can help a business owner, help them with their vision, help them hold the vision in. You can be the best business consultant out there, okay? So if you're listening to these videos and if you don't like your job, and I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you're listening to this video and you don't like your job, by the way, there's no coincidences, no failure in life. So if you're listening to this, you might have had these questions running through your mind. You want to change your business, you want to change your profession. Things happen for a reason, okay? You want to go from jail to Potiphar's house? Learn how to create and manifest. Know the mind. And when you know the mind, you're not the hand anymore. You don't go and beg and ask for anything. You create and you receive. So learn this creation and manifestation process from A to Z. Learn it, eat it, soak in it, write it in the middle of your foreeye. I don't know what you do, but learn how to create and manifest, because that's when you become the master. All right? That's when you become a master. And when you become a master, you see that identity, it was not given to you by the human hand. Okay? That was not given to you. Nobody gave you a diploma. Nobody said, these are the abbreviations at the end of your business card. Nobody needs to give you an identity. Nobody needs to tell you where you belong. You belong where you belong because of the work that you've put in. And if you put the work in creating and manifesting, you are worthy to sit at the end of the table. You are worthy of the best of the land. You are worthy. You've done the work. That work is that of the mind. Understand your mind. Know the mind of God. Don't run after the hand of God. So enter into mastery, enter into business. If you think about starting a business, enter into business. This is your time, okay? So I don't know who I'm speaking to, but it came. And if you know anything about me, I speak from the abundance, from the overflow. Whatever's downloaded comes out, okay? So yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for listening to the video. Like, share, subscribe. And if you want me to be there, you need specific attention, for example, or you want to work individually on your identity, money, business, career, relationships, health, and you want to know how to enter into this power of rest, or how to manifest more than enough or two of the same in any area of your life, then I invite you to take a look at my program, Manifest Without Money. So the link is down below. And that's it. I am looking forward to seeing your comments on the bottom. Please tell me what you think about my videos. I'm not looking for approval. I'm curious, as I've always been, to see if I trigger anything in you. And not that I'm curious to know that, because we're the creator of everything. But if I cause you to think in any way, then I've done my job. Okay? All I love to do is work with the mind, because it's the most powerful thing. All right, so you can see I love to talk too. Okay, bye guys.